Hey guys, Sonyx here. I hope you're currently having an amazing day and life is treating you very well. So today we're going to do an Apex Legends movement guide for both controller and PC. And this is also updated for Season 22, so this is going to be the latest movement guide out there. So I hope you enjoy this one. I'm going to be talking about different movement techniques, so before we even get started, go to your settings, and you're going to go, if you're playing on mouse and keyboard and controller, we're going to start with controller. The most important thing is you're going to have crouch on toggle. It's going to be really helpful for a lot of the different movement techniques in this guide. And if you're on mouse and keyboard, I want you to make sure that you have your move forward, scroll wheel forward for key 2 next to your W key. And then for your jump, if it's space, I want you to have for your key 2 a scroll down. Okay. And then also if you can put crouch for hold on one of your side buttons to your mouse, this will be really helpful as well. So that's the settings. Now our first movement technique is a regular wall bounce. Now before we even get started on this, I want to make sure you know how to slide jump. Now in order to slide jump, it's in the name, you slide and then jump, okay? So you're gonna go ahead and run, you're gonna slide first, and you're gonna hold that slide, okay? You're gonna hold that slide and then jump, okay? So slide and then jump. So slide and then jump. So look at the inputs on my left if you're on controller and on mouse and keyboard, just slide and then jump. So slide and then jump. Okay, so not too shabby. Pretty self-explanatory. Once you get the hang of this, I want you to be able to look at a wall like this and make sure it's a wall that's, you know, kind of flat, nothing curved or anything, because like rocks, for example, are really difficult to do wall bounces on. So find a nice open spot like this, and then I want you to practice slide jumping now onto the wall. Okay. If you notice when you interact with a wall like this, you're going to start climbing it. Okay, you see that? I want you to practice that first. Just climb a wall. Okay? Now, I want you to practice climbing the wall and then backing up. Look at my input on the left. Climbing the wall, backing up. I'm just climbing the wall, backing up. So I have my forward direction, and then I'm just bouncing out. I'm just bouncing out of that wall. See that? How I'm bouncing out? I let go of all my keys too if I'm on PC. I let go of all my keys. See that? I just let go of all my keys after I bounce. With controller, when you bounce out, you want to make sure you put your stick back. See, that's the difference. Okay? You're climbing that wall, stick back, and you bounce out. And with a jump. With mouse and key, you don't really have to put your or press S because you just bounce out of it. Okay? So you notice I'm scrolling down when I'm bouncing out, okay? I'm not pressing my space bar because, like we said, we have key 2 bounded to scroll down. So it makes it really easy. Now, once you get the hang of that, I know it's very repetitive, okay? All you're gonna do is just put the two together. So I'm just gonna run at the wall. I'm gonna slide jump, and as soon as I hit the wall, I'm just gonna do that bouncing out, like that, okay? I'll do it a little bit slower. You see, I'm gonna climb the wall and then I can bounce out of it. See that? Slide jump, climb the wall a little bit, and bounce out. Pretty self-explanatory. On controller, slide the wall, bounce out. Now I do that a little bit faster. I don't even need to climb because you just start bouncing out. Prevents you from even having to climb. You don't have to climb anymore. You're just wall bouncing left and right. So not too shabby, okay? So practice this when you get the hang of it, and before you know it, you're gonna be a wall bounce movement god. Now, a crucial little tip here is that you want to make sure you're actually looking at that wall, because if you go from an angle, you can still hit the wall bounce like that. But then if you're too sloped of an angle, you won't be able to interact with the wall because you won't be able to climb the wall anymore. You see what I'm saying? So always make sure you have, you know, a nice little angle of entry. So if you're coming from an angle like that, reface the wall, and then you're able to wall jump more effectively. If you're just directly at the wall, it's going to make it a whole lot easier to wall jump out of it. Okay? So make sure you always have an angle of entry that is, you know, facing the wall, or you reposition your body where you can be facing the wall. So that's the wall bounce. And to be able to implement this in different fights, see, you don't even need a wall in general. You can wall bounce off of pretty much anything like this tree. You pretty much can just wall bounce and then bam. See, it kind of catches people off guard because you kind of look like this. See that? So you can pretty much wall bounce off of anything, and it helps you become a much more target to hit, a much more difficult target to hit, and it gives you cool little movement clips like that. So like it feels like you're playing like the Apex trailers, you know? And then, you know, do some movement clips like that. And then once, you know, I'll talk about more movement techniques here in a little bit, but you start pairing that up with other movement techniques just to elevate your gameplay even more.
Nice, like.
Reload. Pick up our squad right there. Reloading.
Also, another really important thing is that when you try wall bouncing off of small objects like this, especially this tree trunk, like let me show you exactly what happens. When you try, it automatically puts you in a climbing animation and it's hard to bounce out. You see that? How I'm trying to bounce out, but it's like really difficult because it puts me in like a weird, look, like I start climbing it. So in order to prevent this from happening, if you want to wall bounce off smaller objects like this, you want to make sure you have a directional input that goes left, right, or backwards, so right when you hit the actual, you know, short object. Let me show you what that looks like. You see that? You see how I put the directional input right away? It prevents me from climbing it so basically you're able to wall bounce off small objects like that. As soon as you interact to that wall, you don't want to be walking forward to it anymore. It has to be sharper of a turn because if once it recognizes that you're putting a forward input, you're gonna start climbing the small object right away, because it's different than a wall, because this is gonna be more sensitive. So you want to make sure you just put that directional input, and it prevents you from having to climb that small object. So our next movement technique is a fatigue wall bounce, also known as a no momentum wall bounce. Now these wall bounces are really cool because you don't really need, it's like it's in the name, you don't need momentum like this in order for you to actually use it in a fight. So you could literally be standing next to this wall and then bam, fatigue wall bounce. You see that? And I get the same amount of distance as a regular wall bounce. So you're like, whoa, Sonic, that's really cool, but how exactly do we do this? I'm gonna show you exactly how, okay? I'm gonna break this down. So first things first, you're gonna need a wall. Literally exactly like a wall bounce, you still need a wall. It's a wall bounce for a reason. And as soon as you find a wall, you're gonna go ahead and get in a fatigue mode. Now, there's different ways to get into fatigue mode. Fatigue mode basically means when you jump once and you jump a second time, you see how the second one's smaller? See, I'm gonna show you this for reference. Jump once, you see how it's way higher, and the second one way lower. See that? First one a lot, second one not so much. You'll see it with this line, look. Okay, I jump, I can see over that line. With my second jump, I don't even see that line at all. See that? See my second jump's way smaller? I can see the white up there, and then as soon as I second jump, I can't even see that. You know, that line that divides these two colors here. So that's a fatigue bounce. As soon as you jump second, you're gonna be in fatigue mode. You can't jump until you let your character reset, like you stop, then you jump normally. And then your second jump, third jump, whatever jump after that, you're in fatigue mode. See that? So now that you have an understanding of that, you're going to jump once, and then on your second jump, you're gonna run up the wall, and literally just the same thing as a regular wall bounce, where you're gonna, with controller, you're gonna climb the wall and then bounce out with your stick back, and then with your jump, you know, either X or whatever button you use, and then you're gonna put your stick back. Okay, so let me show you. You're gonna jump once. In your second jump, you're gonna run up the wall, and then you're gonna put your stick back. Jump once. Fatigue mode. You could do it however many times you need. You're still in fatigue mode while you're jumping, and then stick back with a wall jump like that. On PC, same thing. You're gonna jump once. You're gonna keep jumping, keep jumping, keep jumping, and as soon as you interact with that wall, bounce out. As simple as that. With this one, you could put your stick back. You could put S to make sure you really get that momentum backwards. See that? With a regular wall bounce, you didn't need to do that, but with this technique on PC, make sure you have your pressing S, okay? Your backwards input. And there you go. That's how you fatigue bounce. Now the really crucial part about this is that, like with a regular wall bounce, you can't do it in smaller objects like this. You do need a taller of a wall like this. And in order for you to actually make the most out of this, you don't have to be standing next to a wall for you to start this. It is nice because while you're already next to the wall, it's very helpful. But you could actually be running up to a wall and do this like this. Like, you see how I have a little bit of room left? You'll be able to get that distance the more that you play. You'll be able to gauge how much more, because if you start jumping and it's too close to the wall, you won't be able to have enough distance to clear. So if you jump like this, then you just wall bounce out of that, okay? So you have two options when you see a wall. You can do the regular wall bounce like we talked about, like that, or you can do a fatigue bounce and you'll still reach the same distance. See that? Okay, so it's not too shabby, okay? You have options now. When exactly would you do a fatigue bounce? Let me show you like a scenario, okay? I'll do it here. Let's say this guy's chasing me, right? I start healing. I'm already jumping, because that's getting me in fatigue mode ready enough to where when he pulls up right here, bam. You see how I'm ready to just fry him? So let me show you exactly what I mean. I'm healing. I'm just starting to bounce. And as soon as I'm ready, I fatigue bounce, and then I eliminate my target. Okay? So then it's really, really helpful for you to just know exactly when to use what wall bounce. Sure, there are times where you have distance to clear, like you're here. Maybe at this time you don't want to fatigue. You want to pull off a regular wall bounce like that. Okay? You know, it depends on the situation, guys. So you're going to be able to, the more that you play, you're going to be able to know exactly when to use a fatigue bounce and then when to use a regular wall bounce. It's all dependent on the situation and just whatever you're most comfortable with, okay? Oh my gosh.
Shields on that bandit. Ooh, nice. Shield. Wings up. Oh! Not my shields. Rings far. Minute left. Coming back, you win. Fire.
Oh my gosh. Now our next movement technique is a bunny hop, also known as a bee hop. Now this is really, really helpful for retaining momentum while also lowering the chances of you being hit, because you're moving your character up and down. Basically you're crouching and standing like simultaneously, you know, not at the same time, but like, you know, in different succession. So let me show you exactly what that looks like first. So you're gonna be bunny hopping. You see what you see the difference there? You see the difference between that and just sprinting? You're moving the same speed, of course, as sprinting, but you're limiting the angles of which you can get shot from. It limits your hitbox a little bit. Makes you look, if I'm gonna be honest, it makes you look sweaty, okay? So bunny hopping is a really, really great strategy. So like I said earlier, on your settings, if you're playing a controller, you're gonna wanna make sure your crouch is on toggle. But in this case, I know a lot of you play on hold. So let me show you how to do hold first. You're gonna be basically holding your crouch while running. Okay, holding your crouch while running, and you're just sliding. You're just holding your crouch and just sliding. And all you do here is just jump. So hold, crouch, and then just jump, jump, jump. You're just jumping. You see that? It's a little difficult because I don't usually play it on hold. But you get the gist, right? You're just jumping while holding crouch. That's it. And then you're moving your body anywhere you need to at this time. And you basically can pull off as much as you need to. I'm not even stimming. Now imagine I start stimming with this. It makes you so much faster. Now that's for if you want to play on hold. I personally like toggle for some weird reason. I don't know, it's really strange. I feel like I hit more bunny hops this way. For people that are playing toggle, all you're doing is just you're interchanging your jump and your crouch at the same time. So you see, look at my binds, and I'm literally interchanging my crouch, jump, crouch, jump, crouch, jump. And it's really fun this way because the reason why I keep it on toggle is that way I can keep my wall bounces cleaner. Because all I do is just tap it in order to slide jump. You see that? You see I'm just tapping it? I'm not having to hold it. Now, because if I let go at a certain time, I'm not going to be able to pull a slide jump off. This is why I really like crouch on... see, and you could just like... see how I'm like pairing up different movement techniques now? The wall bounce gave me momentum enough to be able to start bunny hopping. Okay? See how we're starting to connect the pieces of the whole puzzle now? All right, so on PC, I want you to, on your settings, remember I said key 2, you're gonna have it on forward here, for next to your W key. Scroll down for your jump, and then you're gonna have a button here next to your crouch hold. So your crouched hold like this is right here. See how on my mouse I'm pressing a button? All you're gonna do is the same thing. You're gonna walk forward, hold your crouch. Walk forward, hold your crouch. Now this is really, really fun, okay? It's really, really easy to do on here. Because all you're doing is basically scrolling down. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. See how I'm scrolling down? So much more easy than actually pressing your spacebar. You can press spacebar, but let me show you exactly how much more difficult that is. And you hear it. You can hear it too. It's really loud. It's obnoxious and loud. So with your scrolling down, it's nice. Because look. Bam, bam, bam. It just makes it so much more accessible. Okay, you're not actually having to worry about too much. Because you're doing everything on your mouse. All you're doing on your keyboard is just holding down W. You guys see that? Okay. So with Octane, let me show you guys something really cool. With Octane, he can actually heal while bunny hopping and retain the same amount of momentum while bunny hopping and healing at the same time. So you're stimming, you get your heal ready, and then you start bunny hopping. See that? Okay. Let me show you guys another example here. Let's get a syringe so it's a little bit faster. I'm gonna heal and then start bunny hopping. You guys see that? And then by the time we get to this corner, this guy comes up behind me. Bam, he's toast. Okay. Oh my gosh. My aim is really, really not that good on mouse and keyboard, guys. I don't know if you could tell. So that's something I definitely need to work on. On controller, let me show you exactly what that looks like too. I'm stimming. I'm gonna heal and then start bunny hopping. So what this does for you is that it makes you much more viable at healing while getting to cover. Bam, and you're ready. Okay, so Octane is a really, really great character for almost all these movement techniques, especially bunny hopping. So if you really want to really deep dive into movement, try Octane. He just accelerates all of the different movement techniques in this guide, and you'll have a whole lot of fun with Octane. Okay. Now the next movement technique is Superglides. Now Superglide is pretty much where when you climb an object like this, you can pretty much fly, okay? Like it's kind of insane. Let me show you the difference. When I climb an object and I just jump, I make it here. I'll mark it. Let's see. Oh shoot. Okay, it's even like less than that. It's like right here. Oh my gosh, Octane, what are you doing? Okay, it's like right there. Okay, so like I'm right here, I just jump. It's actually like right here. Okay, that's kind of like how far we go. Now I could do something else where I could like slide. Same thing. Okay, same dang thing. Now when you do a super glide, here's something before you do a super glide. It's gonna be like you're gonna climb it and then you're gonna slide and then jump. See how I can made it a little bit further, like there. Where I'm like climbing, slide, and then jump. So it's a little bit better than just doing one or the other. I can cover that distance. But with a super glide, let me show you exactly what that looks like. Okay, I made it all the way over here with a super glide. You see how much more distance that is? I covered a whole lot more distance with a super glide than I would if I just did any of the other stuff. Now, in order to do a super glide, I want you to be able to first, if you're in controller, have your jump and your crouch next to each other. So if you're already playing on, regular button layout, circle and X, if you're playing on like a PlayStation, they're already next to each other. So that helps because you could just press those buttons together with your thumb. That's what I just did right now. I just pressed both of those buttons with my thumb and I was able to super glide together, okay? The timing, I won't really discuss the timing for using controller because it's the same thing. We can't change any actuation points for us to mess around with because technically a super glide is when you're hitting your crouch, you're hitting your jump just a little bit faster than your crouch button. Just a little bit faster, you know? Your jump input is a little bit faster than your crouch. But with controller, you can't really mess around with how you know, with each actuation points on each of the buttons. So you're kind of just having to deal with, you know, pressing at the same time and hoping that you hit it. It's not going to be 100% of the time, unfortunately, just because of, like I said, you're kind of limited. But practice hitting them at the same time, and then I guarantee you your accuracy for this is going to increase. Because by the time, before you know it, you can start hitting Superglides like this. Like I have like a 50% rate where I'm hitting the Superglide. So it's not really that consistent, but I'm practicing every day, and it really, really helps when you go in the range and you know, just try climbing whatever object and you hit the Superglide like that, and then bam, it'll help you improve the more that you practice it. Now, if you're playing on mouse and keyboard, I would definitely recommend, like I said, on V is going to be your crouch hold, where you have to hold, or C, which is going to be just a toggle. Just make sure your crouches are next to each other. C and V are both crouched. You have two options in your settings anyway. Now, spacebar is going to be your jump, right? So all you're going to do with, if you're in mouse and keyboard, is that you're just going to press your thumb, like the middle of your thumb is going to go on the spacebar, and then the tip of your thumb is just going to go on C or V, whichever one you prefer. And when you do that, it literally you'll get the Superglide kind of consistently. You do have to practice because it's frame rate dependent. So if your FPS is really high, it's a little bit more difficult, but you pretty much just practice that timing, and then you could get more consistent Superglides the more that you, you know, you'll know exactly how it feels too, because you get kind of launched forward. You see that? See how my FOV kind of change a little bit? Like I kind of zoom out. Look, see how like my FOV a little bit changed? Like I start zooming. You'll know you hit a Superglide because you literally will get so much more momentum. Okay. You are also able to hit sideways Superglides as well. So like that, you see how I'm looking to the side? If I'm looking to the side on PC, or I put a directional input like S or A or D instead, not S, you can do sideways Superglides too. Okay, so sideways Superglides are cool because like you're able to kind of trick your enemy. It's kind of like a Tap-Strafe in a way. So you can kind of trick your enemy, like, oh, I'm going to be going this way. Like, he doesn't know. If you're on controller, same thing. You just put your stick to the right, or you just put your stick to the left. Backwards Superglides are really, really, really difficult. See, that was almost a backwards Superglide. See, all I'm doing for this is I'm going to put my stick to the right or left, like that, and then I'm able to hit the Superglide. And it's really, really freaky to look at. You see that? I mean, imagine tracking that mid-fight. You can't. You literally cannot track sideways Superglides. Now, if you fail a Superglide, all you're doing is just a regular jump anyway, or a slide into it. So you're gonna like slide down. So it's really like you still have a good backup because you're not putting yourself out in the open. You're still doing a cool little movement trick. But I would definitely recommend practicing these when you can. Sideways Superglides, regular Superglides, and before you know it, like you're gonna be pulling these off in game, and you're gonna be so proud of yourself. Now, before you know it, you can literally start pairing up different movement techniques, and then you could start elevating your gameplay. Like you could pull off fatigue bounce there, another fatigue bounce here. You could pull off a Superglide like this, start bunny hopping like here. You see how movement starts to elevate your gameplay? Like it's not boring anymore. Like it feels like you're playing Titanfall, which is the game which is Apex is based off, you know? That was the original, you know, game. So it starts to feel like really fun, like you're playing a movement shooter, not just a boring old shooter where you're just playing around the corner and you're hey, you know what, those games are good too, okay, no hate, but I like Apex for this reason, because you're able to really maximize the movement. Okay, our next movement technique is a quick slide, also known as a fade slide, and I love this technique because it shows you just how important momentum can be used in this game to capitalize on your fights. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about here. If I want to slide, and I'm like, let's say that I want to slide before this wall, or right at the end of this wall, right? I can't really slide. You guys see that? Because it's too short of a distance. In order for me to slide, I have to be a little further, like right here, and I have to count 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, and then I can slide. If I try sliding at 1 or 2 steps, I can't. I can't. I get a dead slide. So yeah, I can't slide at all. So in order for you to get a normal slide, you have to count that 1, 2, 3 steps. And that's that little tiny distance can go a long way. Now, that's when you have a gun out though. See? And then right here, you can't because you have a weapon out. If you holster your gun, and you just have your melee weapon out, you can literally, you don't need to be from back here to slide. You can be from right here and slide. You see the difference that? You see what I'm talking about? You have a gun here, you can't slide. You have your melee weapon out, you can slide. Because it only takes 1 step when you have this out. So how do we utilize this to our advantage? First of all, really, really easy. You're fighting people, right? Fighting people, and you're rotating throughout the map. You just get your melee weapon out, and then you slide. You run faster with your melee weapon, or with no weapon at all, just having your fist out or an heirloom or whatever. So you might as well always remember that, because you always move faster with your melee weapon and your gun holstered. But when you're in a fight like this, okay, you need to shoot that guy and you need to leave. Don't, you turn your back behind him, but don't start running with your weapon out. I know it sounds weird. Fry him, weapon away, slide jump out. You guys see what it did there? Fried him. Imagine I had I'm turning my back with no momentum. Now I fried him. I have to walk 3 steps in order for me to slide jump. Now imagine how embarrassing this is. Fried him. Look, I'm stuck. I just got dead slide. I'm dead. Now imagine I fried him, weapon back, then I left. I'm back here. I'm safe. So that's what a quick slide is. All you do is when you fire your weapon, you're gonna holster your gun, walk 1 step forward, and then you could slide jump. Really, really easy. Okay. So on controller, in order for you to do this, shoot the guy, unholster, holster, and then slide jump. So it's gonna be going in that succession. Okay. You shoot, you holster, you unholster, slide jump. See, you do it fast enough, you're not gonna get a dead slide. Look. You see that? Because the game recognizes that you still don't have a weapon if you do it fast enough. You see what I did there? Look, let me show you exactly how it looks like when you're using cover too, like realistically. You fried him, you go here, and you take cover, new angle, and you just fried him. On PC, so right here, I have holster weapons and left shift, and then I have cycle weapon on home, which is another button on the mouse. So if you want to follow those are really, really helpful for this movement technique. So all I'm doing is similar to the controller. I shoot, I holster, and then I press my mouse button, and then I slide jump. Okay. So in succession, this is gonna look like this. Slow down the video if you need to, so you can watch the binds more carefully. See that? It's a little different because with cycle weapons, I am cycling weapons, so I might accidentally, choose the wrong weapon. It's still the same thing. See that? It's still the same thing. Okay. I'm shooting, and then bam. Okay. Okay. Let's say we're fighting this guy right here. Watch this. Okay.
Opening fire. Shields on that bandit. Breathe up. Check 6.
Now our next movement technique is a super jump. Now a super jump is really cool because when you hit a regular zipline regular jump, it's going to be interact jump. You just interact and then jump. So it buys you a little bit of momentum. You see if you're fighting this guy, interact jump, interact jump. I mean, it's cool. It's just a little bit of height, It's something. See that? Nothing groundbreaking. It's really hard to shoot too doing that because you don't really have much airtime. The solution to this is a zipline super jump. Now, in order for you to do this, all you're going to basically do is you're going to interact and then just press your jump twice. Look at the airtime I'm getting here. Oh my. Like, what the? How is that even fair? How? Huh? How is that even fair? So you basically just get so much more, like 3 times as much height as you would if you did the regular jump. And in order for you to do this properly, is I want you, if you're playing controller, specifically a PS4 controller, if you're playing an Xbox too, that's fine. Just translate it in your head what I'm saying. Is I'm gonna press my square, and then my X, right after. Okay, so square X, and the way I'm doing this is that I'm pressing my square with the tip of my thumb, and I'm pressing my X with my thumb joint. You know when your thumb kind of bends? Press it that way. So press it like in a way where you're basically jumping in that zip really fast, where you're not even riding the zip. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see this. That's a little, you're spending too long on the zip now. I want to see this. No, not that. This. You're basically jumping with a zip in front of you. Like the zip, it doesn't even exist. All you're doing is just jumping. Okay? I don't want to see this. I don't want to see any dragged out motions. Okay? I just want to see jump. Jump. Square jump. Square X. Okay? Square X. You know you're doing it right. You know that you're not just jumping when you hear the interact of the zip. You hear the interact? Because you might be like, oh, how do I know I'm not just jumping? Because you hear an interact with the zip. You do that fast enough. Now you're going to press your X twice or your jump button twice, and then you're going to get this. Okay? You're just going to press your thumb joint on that X twice. And it basically guarantees you a super jump every time. This is like a 95% success rate. Way higher than the super glides. Okay? Because this one is not frame dependent. It's just input dependent. So if you're able to press this fast enough, you're gonna hit it every single time 100% without failure. Okay? So practice this one, and it's really cool. I mean, guys, like, imagine pulling this off in game, you know? Like it, and it buys you enough momentum to start doing other movement techniques. For example, like you do that, and then you literally could start bunny hopping. See that? Okay? Or it actually, when you land, you're already in fatigue mode. See that? And you just, look, you're already fatigue mode, look, and you're bounced out of that. See that? So a zipline super jump is really, really cool. On PC, it's gonna be a little different. All you're gonna do is you're gonna have your interact button. And this is the easiest movement technique on PC, actually. Like this is so easy. You have your scroll down for your jump, remember? Because you're hitting multiple inputs of jump at the same time. You're not hitting just one. You're hitting like 10, 20 different inputs of jump. So all you have to do, instead of pressing E spacebar, see how, look, you're gonna hear that in the background. It's super loud. I can't even do it. E spacebar. It is, I did one. It's so loud, sorry guys. It's really difficult. But you don't have to worry about doing that because you have your scroll down that recognizes this as multiple jumps. So all you do is literally E scroll down. Without failure, you're gonna hit that 100% of the time. Like this, it looks like a trampoline park. So rule number 1 is you want to make sure that you're always touching the ground in order for you to kind of hit this. You cannot be, see, I'm barely touching the ground. You see that? See, as soon as I try doing it while I'm still in the air, I can't. It's gonna fail. So you always want to make sure you're hitting the ground right there. Right there. And as soon as you hit the ground, bam, zipline super jump without failure. 100% success rate. Okay? So this one is a really fun movement technique because it kind of helps you elevate your gameplay a lot better. See, on PC, you can just slide into it too, like that. You see that? And it's so cool. It's a little bit harder to do on controller. I admit, like trying to do it while sliding, it's a lot more difficult. So just stand, make sure you're standing on controller, and then you're good to go. Okay? Now the next movement technique is the Mantle Jump. Now the Mantle Jump is really, really cool because this is derived from the zipline super jump that we just did. So if you know how to do that, you'll be able to do the Mantle Jump pretty much with no problem, okay? I want to show you exactly what the Mantle Jump looks like first before I even break it down. So that was a Mantle Jump, okay? So I'm going to break this down for you guys in a way that's kind of easy to understand, okay? So a Mantle Jump pretty much means that when you are interacting with an object like this, you're gonna start mantling it. Do you see how I climbed that object? See that? See how I'm like climbing it? And then I can eventually stand on this platform. Now, there's a split second where you can actually interact with a zip line in order for you to hit a super jump. So all it is like really slowly, it kind of looks like this. I climb that. In this case, I'm gonna go ahead and look up because I can interact right there, and I'm super jumping up. But in the case where you're not actually having to climb all the way forward, like in this case, I'm just doing it for example purposes. I'm just climbing forward and you're having to look up. In this case, when you're mantling and then you're backing up, you don't have to look up because that object up there is, you know, the interact button will be actually visible, like right there. You see that? See how it's already you see how I'm already seeing the interact button when I'm backing up? So all you have to do is pretty much interact with an object, back up, and then super jump. At the end of the day, that's what you're doing. So you're just interacting. I mean, you leave the zip line, and then you back up, and then you super jump. So key forward, and then key back. And then sometimes you can do that. Key forward, and then you're going to put your key back. So in your left hand here, you're going to practice a routine of key forward, key back, key forward, key back. On your right hand, you're going to just basically do square XX for your super jump. And when you put all of that together, you're going to get a Mantle Jump that looks like this. All right, right on cue. Now, when you're playing on PC, it's going to be a little different, okay? I want to show you exactly how this works. On PC, you're going to do this very slowly, and you're going to be doing this kind of in a progressive pattern, so it's going to be easier the more that you do it in a slow way. So I like teaching people doing things slowly before you do things quickly, okay? That's just the way you want to do things in life in general. If you want to learn a new skill, do everything piece by piece, slowly, and then once you get really good at that, keep working on the speed, and before you know it, you're going to be doing this really quickly. So you first just going to interact, you're going to jump off like this, and then you're going to be basically in this climbing position, okay? Now that you're in this climbing position, I want you to look up slightly. Okay, do you see where my ult here in the bottom, where my octane pad is like directly on this? On this, you can put it like, you kind of want to aim for this general direction, okay? You kind of want to have your ultimate in that general direction. So kind of like 45 degrees, like kind of like right here. Either like on that box or like on this little, on that like metal thing. Now that you have it like right here, okay, you're just gonna press your W and then S while holding E. So WS, okay? I know that looks weird right now, okay? Let's do everything slowly, okay? I'm gonna keep doing exactly what I'm talking about. I'm gonna jump off, look up a little bit, get that 45-degree angle, WS, okay? That's it. That's it for now, okay? WS. I know it looks weird, okay? Just bear with me. WS, okay? Now all you're gonna do, okay, is after you press WS, you're just gonna scroll down. That's it. WS, scroll down. Okay? So we've got all the steps now. Okay, you're gonna interact. Hold your interact. Hold that 45-degree angle. WS, scroll down. And then you just Mantle Jump. Okay? You work on that. You work on that speed. And before you know it, you're going to be hitting Mantle Jumps left and right 100% accurate each time. Because this is not frame dependent. Okay? Slow down the video if you guys can, so you can watch the binds and replay exactly what you need to replay. And Mantle Jumps are going to be really, really fun because this helps you get some really cool clips, okay? But in general, mantle jumps are literally just zipline super jumps, okay? Not on these kind of zip lines, but more zip lines that are, you know, going vertically like this. So all it is just that it's just a zipline super jump on a vertical zip line. So once you get the hang of the regular super jumps, mantle jumps are going to be a piece of cake for you. They're just a little bit more steps, but it is technically one of the most difficult movement techniques. So once you get this down, oh, you're good to go. Now, before you know it, you could start pairing up different movement techniques together. Okay, even something as simple as wall jumps and your quick slides. Like it's like I said, you've been watching this video so far, and you could see I'm like pairing up different movement techniques. Like for example, there's a dude right here, right? Whatever, right here. Okay, you can actually pull off different movement techniques to eliminate that guy versus just walking out here out in the open and then just frying him. Okay, what you can do now is you can literally, you know, you can holster, get a quick slide in, unholster, and then bam. Look at that. You're doing two movement techniques. You're wall bouncing and you're using your quick slide. Shooting him, reload, holster, do that. Come on, look at that. Bam, game over. So at the end of the day, don't be afraid to put movement techniques in your fights. You know, start putting combos together like Mortal Kombat. Literally, that's what it is. You just kind of, you know, mixing and matching, stitching different movement techniques, and before you know it, you're gonna have your whole new play style. Now, here's a bonus tip for PC players. You have all your binds ready, okay? I'm gonna teach you how to tap strafe like really quickly. All you're going to do for a tap strafe is you're just redirecting your momentum, okay? All you're doing for a tap strafe is you're literally redirecting your momentum left or right or backwards. So in order for you to do this, I want you to practice slide jumping we did earlier. So you just hold your run, hold your crouch, and then just jump. See that? Now all you're doing for this is really easy. You're literally just going to let go of your W, and then you're just gonna scroll down. After you scroll down, you're letting go of your W. You see that? It's just two steps. I mean, it's the same step, but two different keys you're pressing. You're gonna run. You're gonna let go of your W while you scroll down. You have to scroll down anyway to jump. You see what I'm talking about? Okay. You let go of your W, scroll down. Now, after you scroll down, I want you to scroll up. Okay. So we're gonna put another step in there. You're gonna run forward, slide jump, scroll down, scroll up. So run, scroll down, scroll up, while letting go of your W. See that? Okay, practice that. Once you get comfy with that, I want you to just turn your direction at the direction you want to go. I want you to press a directional input now. So you're gonna either press A or D, depending on where you want to go. So let's say you want to turn left. You're gonna press A. You see how I'm pressing A? So I know it's a lot of steps. Rewind this part if you need to. You're gonna turn your direction at where you want to go. Okay? There you go. That's it. That's it. That's how you tap strafe. Okay? You're gonna get the feel of this, and before you know it, you're gonna be able to. And then also when you move, like let's say you turn right, you can re-hold your W key again. Like you're gonna quickly just press A just to switch directions, and then you can press your W key when you're moving forward again, like that. Okay? It's gonna be a quick little, like it's literally gonna be a fast little change, like that, and then you can literally tap strafe around corners, and it just helps you become much more. And you can actually tap strafe while healing too. Look at this. I mean, that's kind of OP, right? That you can do that, right? That's heck, that's hella OP, but not too bad. And before you know it, you can start pairing up tap strafing with other movement techniques. Okay, I'm not gonna really go over that too much in this video because I have a separate video on that. I'm gonna be working on a PC movement guide here soon, where I'm going to talk about tap strafing and how to pair that up with other movement techniques, lurching, advanced, pedo strafe, RAS strafing, and literally a super advanced movement technique. So stay tuned for that. So let me show you exactly what you're going to look forward to here. Okay, so you're going to be able to learn how to do stuff like this. You see how I'm like lurching now? Because that's advanced tap strafing pretty much, where you could kind of change your momentum like that. See how I'm like moving my character like a freaking snake, right? Stuff like this, like that, and then tap strafe out. Okay, like stuff like this, even stuff like this. Let me get like, look, that doesn't even look fair anymore, guys. Imagine fighting that. And last but not least, stuff like this. And then stuff like this. Look at this. So that's advanced PC movement. I'll go over that in a separate video in the future. So I hope you can see how much more movement elevates your gameplay and just makes this game way more fun than it needs to be. Because literally this game is, there are things about it that detract, but Apex is a movement game. So using movement in your fights, is not only, cool, but it's fun, and you can actually like get more kills using movement in your gunfights. So I hope you learned some things from this video. So I'm going to be working on 2 new movement guide videos. So one specifically just for controller and specifically for PC, okay? So once those videos are released, they're going to be here in front of your screen. But for now, I hope you learned something here and can bring this into your next gunfight. But if you did learn a thing or two from this video and you found it helpful for you, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and even comment down below what was your favorite movement technique that you learned from this video. That's all for now. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and please never ever forget to take care.